Hi, I'm Judith, and I am from hisunmeasuredgrace.com. If you want to find me on the internet, where my blog is. And my thing that I do is to help women find hope and grace through the mom life. And one of the things that I do through the mom life, and to encourage you, since my kids have already grown up, I have all these memories and all these things that are just packed into my head from my fails and my triumphs and what God's brought me through that I can share with you so that you don't make some of the same mistakes that I made, hopefully, and so that you can live victoriously. So this is part 2 of a video that I did where I did the devotional part, and now I'm going to take you on a little draw with me journey as I draw about the donkey and Anah, who was stuck in the wilderness, kind of like we're stuck in this desert experience while we're stuck at home. But really, we shouldn't feel stuck because we should be looking for what God wants to teach us through staying at home. So what I did first, because I don't know how to draw a donkey and I'm not yet experienced enough to really be teaching you, but I can teach you my process. I took my phone and I put in donkey and I searched it, and what I found was different pictures and drawings and ideas about donkeys, and that's what I did first. And then I took my Bible that I love, and I drew a donkey, which kind of looks kind of like awkward, but donkeys are awkward, right? And then I took my Arteza pencils, and you can see them here. They are beautiful. They can also be used with watercolors by getting them wet. I've done that sometimes, but today I'm just going to be using them as crayons. And crayons is like very relaxing to me, and that's one of the things that I love about journaling art. Is there all different ways, and one of my favorite ways is to draw and color. Now, I'm first going to read you the verse because I was reading the genealogies and kind of skimming them because I find them kind of boring, and yet I don't feel like I should skip over it. And if I had skipped over the genealogy of Esau in Genesis 36, I would have missed this one verse that totally jumped out at me and made me curious. And then I went and looked up who Anah was, and to find out about the donkeys that he was watching, which you can find out in my devotional in part 1, and the hot springs. So he found a hot spring, but I'll read the verse for you. And it's Genesis 36:24. It's about Esau's descendants. These are the sons of Anah, who found the hot springs in the wilderness as he pastured the donkeys of Zibeon his father. Just one little verse, one little mention of donkeys, and one mention of Anah in the whole of the Bible. And here we go. Down, down, down you go till we get to my drawing. I drew it first because if I did the thought process now, it would not be a good thing. So I'm taking my micron pen. You can get them at Hobby Lobby, and I don't know where else, and also Amazon. I don't know what other store. And Hobby Lobby is closed, so if I needed more, I would go to Amazon. I'm first going to write the verse, but I have to do the writing right side up. So if you can see what I'm doing here, I'm writing, I just did part of the verse because there is no room after I drew it. But that's why in my group, we also type out the verse in the description box, because sometimes lots of people look at what people share on their phone, and it's smaller, so we type it out so that there's clarity in what we're sharing. And also I often do part of the verse because to include all the verse just doesn't fit in the space in my Bible. There's more room when I do it in a notebook, but I like doing it in my Bible too. So I just was amazed that here Anah probably was young, and his father probably sent him out to watch the donkeys, and maybe he complained, maybe he didn't want to do it, you know, like our kids sometimes get. So I am going to first do his hair, and he's watching donkeys, so I would imagine his hair might be kind of messy. And this is a gel pen that I'm taking and using, and I won't link it. I'll link the Arteza pencils to Amazon, my Amazon affiliate link. And yes, if you buy anything ever through my affiliate links, I only get a small commission, and it helps me with my blog because blogging has cost to it, but it's not much because they even made it less. Amazon did, which I'm not happy about because I don't get much. I might get $10 every few months, and so blogging isn't like it used to be. It's a whole lot different, and it does cost. And I don't like it coming out of my husband's paycheck. So, these are these wonderful Arteza pencils, and I'm going to make his eyes blue. They probably were brown, but I think I love blue eyes with dark hair. I just love it. And I need to do a color of his face. I try to journal just about every day. And because I'm a blogger, and because I have a YouTube channel, and I create printables for my website, it means that I'm pretty busy. So I think I want him to I want a contrast. The donkey's going to be like a gray or brown. And so I'm going to make his clothes stand out. And I didn't really draw his arms or anything. I just, because I'm mostly concentrating on the donkey. And so you don't have to really know how to draw things really well. I mean, even my face has his mustache makes, I better do a mouth, because his mustache makes him look like, makes him look sad. Maybe he is. Because if you've been ever having a wilderness experience, aren't you kind of sad? Aren't you kind of bummed out? And I don't know, bad mouth. But it's not about the drawing. When I'm journaling, I usually have like some soft music playing in the background, like praise music. I don't have anything rowdy. I don't like rowdy music. I might have uppity music sometimes, but that's for when I'm making my bed or doing housework. But the quieter music helps me to worship the Lord and hear His voice, because I don't want to block out what God may be saying to me through trying to decide. Maybe I want the outline of his hairy ears and body to be in brown. So, but the thing that I like about Bible journaling is that it's a very, very relaxing thing to do. And that's not something we want just some people that are non-Christians to discover, because a lot of people color, and there's a lot of the New Age in coloring books, and it's not wrong to do, because New Age people, or whatever they're called now, I think I heard them called woo-woo. So whatever they're called, people that aren't Christians, that are into Eastern religion and whatever, that are coloring, there's nothing wrong with coloring because of that. It's not like that. And they will say it's relaxing, and it is. But when you're meditating on a verse like this one, and thinking about how this young man or boy was out there with his donkeys and probably maybe bummed out and bored, he wanted more activity, he wanted to do something fun in his life, and here he is. He's thinking to himself, I'm out here in the middle of the wilderness with these donkeys, and why did my dad send me and not one of my brothers? And so he might have a bad attitude. And you might have a bad attitude some days and figure, why am I here with my kids? Why am I, maybe you don't have kids anymore. Maybe they all grew up. Why are my kids not writing to me or calling me? Why do they not sound interested in my text to them? And what an opportunity for Satan to get inside of your head and cause you to stumble and get down on and then it affects your relationship with your kids, because then the next time you see your kids or talk to them or text them, my kids live a long ways away, most of them. And the one that lives only an hour away, she's not answering my text. Her life is pretty messed up. But, I could maybe encourage her and maybe could have an opportunity to point her to the Lord. But I can't do that if she doesn't answer, and if she changes her phone number and doesn't give it to me, and things like that kids do for no good reason. I mean, whenever I'm with her, she's really happy that I showed up. So I can't right now. I can't show up and say, well, he didn't call me, so I showed up. Down here, I'm going to have a bad job at showing the hot springs. And how do you show something hot steaming up? I have no idea. So you just have to use your imagination. And I like the gel pens because they kind of bleed through the page, but you see, you can kind of see it through the page, maybe too much. I don't worry about that. I don't worry about it at all. But anyway, I'm going to try to draw my hot springs. I brought the garment, that clothing, down too far for Anah. His name is Anah. I got to remember that. And so usually I try to contrast any other colors I'm going to use in my page. But I don't always remember to do that. And that does not look like water. And that is not the point in our drawings. My drawings, sometimes they're really great, but when I draw people, I don't think they're so good. But that is not the point. And unfortunately, you're not going to learn much about drawing from me, but I'll tell you what you can do. I noticed on Pinterest, on that page that I showed you, and all I did was put in donkeys and drawing, because you have donkeys and other kind of things. But in that, there are some demonstrations on how to draw, and I might go back and look at them, but I have a pretty heavy work things that I have to do today, so I don't know if I'll have the time. But you can do that, because some of the people in the group, they draw better than me, and that's okay, because it's not about drawing. And I just went outside the lines, but I don't have my pencil here where I have my camera. Not a camera, it's a little doohickey thing that's on the top of the screen. So, and I'm not even, now an eraser, which I don't have with me, will, because I have a table, a desk I use in the other room for drawing, but the lighting's really bad. You can take an eraser and bring it over your drawings, and it softens it up. And one thing that you can do is, like, now if I do everything the same color, it's going to kind of blend into itself, and you're not going to see the difference of the face. And I'm not real good with shading yet. Maybe I should try, because, and just so you know, if you're new to all this with Bible journaling, I didn't draw since I was in grade school. And that wasn't last year. And I don't go around telling my age too often. So why should I? Anyway, that's not very good shading, but at least it shows the difference. That's supposed to be all the hair. Donkeys are hairy, I think. Okay, now I'm taking a lighter pencil. I hope this is lighter. Sometimes I've chosen lighter pencils and they don't, they're just, I don't see the contrast. I don't see the difference. So, I thought when I first drew this face, I thought it looked more like a wolf. I had the ears straight up. So I erased it. That's why I always do it in pencil first. So I erased the ears, and I did the ears over, made them more floppy, because donkey's ears flop more than maybe a wolf's ears. Wolf ears are more static. So I don't know. This isn't the best donkey I've ever seen. I mean, it's the best donkey I've ever drawn, because I don't remember drawing a donkey before. But the thing that's always neat, and why you should always share to the group Jesus Journaling on Facebook, is because often when I think something's not that good, once I share it, it's like, oh wow, it looks nicer than I thought. So that's all I'm going to do right now to show you. I might do a few more touch-ups. I might color something on that side. I don't know. Although maybe not, because it'll look like it's just a blue background instead. And I'm going to do that in black pen later. I always put the reference on it. This is the verse. I don't know why I did that verse and outlined it, because it's like just tells you that Isaac died. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you'll join me next time that I do a draw with me. And I hope you try this, because yours will turn out different than mine if you share it in the group. It will not look the same, and maybe you can go on Pinterest and find another style or do better than me, because you'll watch one of the examples of how to draw a donkey. So thank you for joining me. Have a wonderfully blessed day. I forgot to tell you. Subscribe. And hit the button down below to subscribe, and the bell, whichever side it's on, and you will get notified when I come live about once a week. I'm so glad that you're going to do that.